Welcome, YouTube. It's time. We break down the Paldea map. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are 69 days away from us, actually. I say us. Def is also here. Say hi, Def.
Hello. Nice.
Nice, yes. Anyways, yeah, we're 69 days away from it, and now that we've got the recent Scarlet and Violet trailer where they've showed off Ceruledge, Armor Rouge, and the little crab dude, we've also got some information on the evil team, evil in air quotes, and I felt like it was time for us to break down this map. So yes, of course I got Def with me, because this map is actually pretty big from what, from what it looks like, just from the overview of it. I've went ahead and done some research here, and let me just do this. Made some landmark locations and type of things like that. So without further ado, let me zoom in here. And so as you can see, at the very bottom of the map, we've got, I assume this is going to be our house. Like, from the trailers, it looks like this is going to be the house. I could see that. And you got your professor's lab over here. And the interesting thing is, there's a lot of these that I've seen as well, these little battle areas, and I assume this is probably where we're going to battle our rival, if I'd have to take a guess. Go down the stairs. One thing I've also noticed on this map is there's not a whole lot of water, but there's also a lot of like entrances that don't lead anywhere, from like caves and stuff like that. Like, I guess you could get Waterfall and maybe get up here if Waterfall's in this game. Actually, have they showed Waterfall yet, Def? Do you know?
Which I assume that means they're not going to have them in the game.
Well, I mean, like,
have some other alternative way to get them around.
Well, that's what I meant, like another alternative way. Like, we've seen Surf, we've seen Fly, essentially, through the Rod Pokemon, and I assume Rock Climb was shown as well. I think it was. I can't remember. Anyways, the first up, after you leave here, like I said, almost 100% sure this is your home. We've seen plenty of like these little trees around it. And this looks like I was about to say an officer. Professor's home base. We can go up here and we get the first of these little lighthouses. So I went ahead and... Do what?
Could also be the school.
I guess it could be. Although I think the school's going to be in the middle. Like in the actual city. But I guess it's a possibility.
Like school.
What if this is the school?
I think that's still the Pokemon League headquarters.
It's a possibility. We'll get to that, though, in a minute. Def's jumping ahead already. But yeah, it could be the school. It could be... I guess we can zoom in. Let's zoom in a little more here. There's... I wish I could, like, rotate it to where I could see, like, this front entrance of it. But you really can't. I'd have to look at some screenshots from the actual trailer. But once you go up here, I assume this is like going to be the Route 1 equivalent. Although, as you guys know, in this game, we can kind of go whichever way we want to. There is no set path. We run into these lighthouses, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think these things are going to have any significance whatsoever. There's 4 of them, and in the trailer itself, the latest one, you actually see a mini-map, and the mini-map shows 4 colors. Each 4 of those colors match the lighthouse. So north being the one at the very top, which is, I think it was blue. When we get there, we can look at it. And south being this like orangish color. So I don't think that these lighthouses are going to do anything, at least from my knowledge. Do you think anything, Def? Any difference?
You mentioned that the cardinal directions all have the same colors. I was like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
They're also in the direct cardinal directions.
Yep. Then we get to, I guess, our first like little area that we can get to, our first like little town. And there's not really much here. Obviously, in these games, when you look at the map, there's probably going to be more than 4 houses here. A lot of times they kind of just put in some of the more important buildings, if there is any, and just a couple houses to kind of represent that it's a town. And we get our first look at what is the Pokemon gas station, I guess. We've seen a couple of these around in the trailers. I don't know if they're all going to have all 3 of the, Mart, Pokemon Center, and then what I assume is the clothes shop, which is the green one. I would assume that they would, but nothing really important there. And then we can continue up to this big city. Now, kind of what Def was talking about, we don't know exactly where the school is, from what I can tell. I'd have to go back and look at the trailers. But this city is pretty massive, as you can see already. You've got your big central like little area, which we've seen in the very first trailer. You've got
2 Pokemon centers in this town, I noticed.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got these 2 Pokemon centers. right here, and this little tunnel, which looks really, really cool. So I'm wondering if this is going to be like the Lumina City, where you can, well, I guess it's not as much that, because there shouldn't be any, like, loading between these cities. But it is very big. I guess Motostoke was another one, I'm pretty sure, from Sword and Shield, where it had multiple Pokemon centers in it. You got your plaza. You got another one of these battle areas here, which makes me wonder if this is the school area. And the reason why is these are kind of set up like dorms in a way. To me, they kind of look like that. But if that's the case,
we've seen that central battleground before in the trailer, I think.
This one? I mean, it's a possibility.
No, the one to the right.
Oh, this? Yeah. This was shown, I think, I'm pretty sure, the very first trailer, you actually see it panning from this shot, because it's the one with, like, the Magnemite, or not the Magnemite, but that's the trailer. I can't remember what the Pokemon is there, but there is one. But yeah, you got your Pokemon centers, you got this little, like, rest area. Maybe these are dorms, and that's, like, a battle area for the trainer school. Now, here's one of these caves. I assume this cave is going to lead up here, but we're going to kind of go to that at a later point. But yeah, our first kind of mystery building, I don't know. It does.
Hang on. Yep. Oldest school in the Paldea region. It's that.
It's this?
Yep.
Okay.
There's a picture of it too.
Well, there we go. This is the school then. Which I guess kind of makes sense, because actually, I guess this more looks like dorms that you would see.
Here, let me send you a picture. This is actually working.
It should.
I'm not sure if I actually sent right or not.
It should. If not, you guys will see it when I actually edit this and upload it. I'm not going to look at it right now. Actually, I guess I could look at it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is absolutely the school. You actually see the logo. You don't see it here, but the actual logo itself does exist. It's, like, right up there.
See it, as you're talking about.
One thing that's interesting, though, is you've got this round thing here. And
that's an observatory.
Yeah, and it's actually, if we scroll, we've also got like this, which I also thought was an observatory, but we'll have to see. There's also this big whole mystery down here. So, anyways, this is pretty much the biggest city from what I can tell, which makes sense if this is where school area is. And like I said, you got a little cave entrance right here, and I just assume it ends up being right here. However, it would not surprise me if there's another entrance on this side where you could go this way to get to the crater, because we'll get to it in a minute, but there is no way to actually go into the crater that I can tell. From this area, you got your left and right path. We're going to go ahead and just go left, and actually left, and you run into another one of these little stops. These things also kind of remind me of the Pokemon Go Pokestops, just from like this little icon, but nothing too impressive there. And then we run into these towers. Now, the latest trailer shows these Titan Pokemons, or Totem Pokemons. They're Titan Pokemons, but they're pretty much Totem Pokemons. My theory is that these are going to be where those Titan Pokemon spawn, or that you're able to fight them. The only real basis I've got off this is we see some kind of cliffs where the crab one is, which could be right back here. You've got cliffs up here as well. So it's surrounded by this mountain area. There's 15 of these, I believe. I've got a little thing to the left to actually see where it is, or how many of them there is. There's 15 or 16. There's a fair bit. But yeah, that's kind of what I think these are. They might not have anything to do, but there's a lot of them. Any thoughts for you, Daph?
I was currently looking at the website one more time.
Well, while Daph's doing that, I'm going to continue onwards. Then we're going to get to what is the first big city.
And I also just happened to see this. The green spot in the Pokemon Center, that's the communication room.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
You see like a signal symbol on it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Which I guess makes sense for that. Then you get to this like little hay area. I say it's hay area. It looks like a really kind of dusty town. And we end up going to what is the first building that I believe, actually, it's not a believe. Well, this one might be a believe because it's hard to tell because you can't see the front of it. But I think this is the first gym that we're actually getting across if you go left. You can see I've got this here. And I'm going to assume it's a bug top. The only real reason I can kind of assume that is to me, this town just screams bugs.
Can you move that gym symbol really quick?
Can I move it?
Yeah.
No, because I've got it locked. Actually, give me one sec. Oh boy, that's not what I wanted to do.
Okay. I saw another picture here that I thought that might have been it, but I was missing a certain feature.
Yeah, all right, there you go. I moved it. So, that being said, I think it's going to be a bug gym, and really the only reason why is just because of the way the town looks, and this symbol right here, which I assume is where you actually do the gym battle, and it's kind of similar to the bug color itself. One thing that's interesting, and I didn't notice this until now, you also have another one of them here, but you've got two Pokemon centers, one at the start of the town and one at the end of the town. And this looks like one of the more smaller cities. So I'm wondering actually how big this actually is. You also have these two houses facing each other, which makes me think of like a guard post type thing. And you also, if you look real closely here, it's going to get a little blurry. You can see that there is almost a toll like gate here. So, and it's also got a bunch of trucks. So, that's something to kind of keep in mind as well. Maybe this is like an export city or something like that. So, but moving further down, we see another one of these little statues. And you can kind of see that there's nothing really on this side of the map that you can do that I've been able to see. There's these mountains. Again, I guess you could waterfall up or maybe rock climb. But kind of going back towards the right, that's pretty much all you see in this little vicinity. It's just kind of grasslands. Moving onwards to the left, kind of going upwards on this path, you can see that we can kind of go back up here. And again, because this is open world, you can kind of go wherever you want to go. But we're just kind of following around the path. We get another Pokemon Center, which honestly is not that far away from this one. It makes me wonder, like, how the actual distance is going to be. Because to me, these centers are very close to each other. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have a center, like, every 3 feet, you know? So, maybe this is actually a very big map.
So you don't know how long that trail is.
Yeah. Just from, like, what it looks like here, it looks very small. But we really don't know. Going south from this Pokemon Center area, Pokemon whatever, you can actually see the road kind of disappears here. And if I go, let me unlock this layer real quick and move this. So this is kind of what I was saying, that the roads really don't go anywhere at times. I don't know if this is going to come out somewhere over here and it's just not showing it, or it comes out behind this little gem symbol or this tower symbol. You can't really see it either way. But obviously you get to this town from that. And it also could be that it just kind of swoops back down and comes back up this way and you lose the road. There is, however, a tower or like a cave entrance here. And in this cave entrance, I don't know where this leads. I looked and I couldn't see anything. Maybe it's from the ocean and that's how you actually get to this town. I'm going to assume this is a rock gym. And here you can actually see a better look at the Pokemon gyms with this logo. And if you look on the Pokemon website, you can actually see that. This also could be a steel gym now that I'm looking at it, because you see like some smokestacks. So I'm thinking maybe like industrial.
Okay, I was wondering where the field is. Well, based off of what you said, if the Pokeball actually represents the color, the Pokemon's color represents the type. You have your hint about what it is right there. Although it's kind of hard to see. I was actually looking at another picture here for the grass gym, because they do show that in some of the pre-release shots. Mm-hmm. The grass gym's Pokeball is green and red.
Unfortunately, you can't really tell what this one is. It looks like a...
Right.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a fire gym either, and the only reason why is, well, we'll get to it. It's like on the other side of the map when we kind of go over the evil team. I wouldn't imagine there's going to be any overlaps between them and the gyms, but there could be. So I was just kind of picking toppings that were not overlapping.
Is that a 4? I just noticed that. Probably not.
I don't think so. But there is this little tower up here. I'm not really sure what that tower is, to be honest. I just assume it's some kind of like over the top. Nothing special though on this, and this is kind of the end of the left side of the map too, at least for right now. So we're going to zoom out a little bit, and we're going to go back up this trail, back up to this Pokemon Center, and then we're going to do kind of a sweeping motion. Now, one thing I noticed here, and you can't see what it is, it looks like a rock. But it looks like this is going to go somewhere. Some kind of maybe... It reminds me of Sword and Shield, where you've got the statue of the Diglett and Dugtrio. That's honestly what this reminds me of. Don't know if it's going to have any significance. It looks like it might, just because there's this clear inlaid trail that you see. But who actually knows? I don't think we've seen that either, like through any trailer. But continue on this pass. You've got these like windmills. I don't know if we're going to see anything fancy here. It looks like it's just a windmill area to kind of go from where it is. Then you got the path. You can continue onwards. It goes back down that way, kind of spreads out. And we get to our desertish area where you see another one of these towers kind of falling down. You can see this one up here as well. And you got these stone circles. I don't know what this is going to be at all. Who knows at this point in time. It's probably just some kind of decorative design. It would not surprise me if there is a Pokemon that evolves in this, though. Similar to how we saw Yamask, where you had to, I think it was Yamask, where you had to go under that rock. Or whatever it was. But this is the desert, and if we go to the right, we have another gym and a flag, which we'll get to in just a second. So, looking at the flags here, you can actually see their color. And in the trailer, they were talking about the new team, Team Star. And there's not just one evil team, rival team, I guess is what you would really call it. It's multiple factions of that. They've got, you know, similar to, well, I guess there's not been the case for like evil, like that type of team or anything like that at all. Most time it's just one central team, but now they've got like different, I guess, not really admins to me. I don't think they work together for any real reason that I know of.
Bosses.
Yeah, I guess boss is the appropriate word. So each one of these flags are also a different color. I put in the color picker here because these stars are just black. And I got this color, and most of the time, dragon is either a dark bluish color or a purplish color. I don't think this is going to be dark because it's not like a dark color. And I don't think it's going to be ghost because there's another one that more closely resembles the ghost color. So I think we're actually going to see our first like evil admin, leader, whatever, use dragon types as their main typing. We also get to this little oasis type city. And let me go ahead and remove this so you can kind of see the actual city itself. You can see the Pokemon building here as well. And you can see the little battle layout. This could be a water type. I didn't actually notice that the actual like platforms were different colors, but to me this screams more of a ground type, like a desert oasis. Also, I don't know if this one Pokemon Center is bigger than the others. Maybe they're the same size, and maybe it's just the scoping of it. But this one looks slightly bigger. So there's that. You also get this really cool wall looking thing. I actually like the way the city looks a lot from it. But yeah, I think this is going to be a ground type gym. Again, just mainly because
Elpino Plaza.
Yeah, pretty much, just because it's a desert oasis. And we also have this city, kind of going back to the desert. This, I don't know. I've got two theories that this is going to be a mall, essentially, similar to New Mauville's mall, or it's going to be a greenhouse. One of the two. I don't really know yet. What do you think about it, Def? Anything?
I don't think we've actually seen any of the trailers yet.
No, and the biggest reason why I think it might be like more of a mall is you see these harbor, like the boats for like a harbor. You see like I assume this is some kind of loading company, like a loading trailer company for exporting, goods. Maybe this is a greenhouse and they're exporting plants to other regions. So who knows? But that's just something to kind of keep in mind. We've got another one at the lighthouse. Like I said, this lighthouse is just cardinal direction. I don't think it's going to matter too much. You got another Pokemon Center up there. We've got us another tower. And we have this gym right here. This one was probably the hardest one of these to find because I couldn't find... You can't see the entire back of this gym. Oops. So after a while, I looked at the sides, and this is why I think it's a gym. And I think it's maybe a flying type gym. And the only real reason I can base off that is, well, actually, I got nothing. I just assume it's going to be flying type gym. There's really no indicator for this one at all.
No battlefield either.
Yeah, there's no battlefield that you can see. The only thing maybe is this is a hangar of sorts, and the battlefield's in there.
Small to be a hangar, I think.
Maybe, but it also could be ginormous. You know, it could just be scaled down.
Smaller than the building?
I mean, maybe this building's like ginormous.
It'll be smaller than the gym building that you say it is.
Well, I guess height-wise it would be. Who knows? Who knows? It's just one thing I could think of that it could be. But yeah, I'm not. This is like one of the most unsure ones that I've got. And then you got this. We'll go ahead and talk about this massive thing. We got this observation deck, or I assume it's some kind of observation deck, but it doesn't look like you can really do anything here. Part of me thinks that and there's no entrance into this either, as well. Like, it just looks like it exists. So maybe like this building right here, there's like a secret tunnel that gets out to this one, and then you can get to the crater. I'm not 100% sure. Also, I don't know what they would be observing here.
Yes, what would they be observing? A giant swirling cloud.
Yeah, so Def, you had a pretty interesting theory about this little whole thing, so I'll let you play that.
Right. So I was reminded, when I saw this, I was reminded of Univa's Intralink, which is just the giant, it was like so Univa was like really a ring-shaped region, and then in the center was just a circular area that you never really entered unless you decided to do multiplayer. That was the Intralink. It was just a portal between dimensions, basically, that no one ever brings up in canon. And I was wondering, like, if this game's all about time travel, which we still have no idea about, maybe it takes you to the past or the future.
Could be. It's definitely a possibility. I am going to think of something else, though, and I think... So, we know that this region is close to Kalos, right? Like, it's a thing. People have been wanting to go back to Kalos because there's a lot of unexplored areas. Kalos was in a big war at some point, yeah? That was a thing. Did they not fire their laser cannon of life or whatever at some area? Isn't that a thing that they did?
It was out of Geosenge Town.
Well, I meant like in the past.
I assume it was.
It was in the past, though, right? Like,
yeah, I assume it was still under Geosenge Town, but I just realized that doesn't make any sense since Team Flare built their base around it. If they would have had to build a base around it.
But they shot the laser and it had to land somewhere, right? Like, what if this was where it landed? It's on the border of Kalos. Hypothetically, it would be. And maybe that's caused some kind of weird something. You know, we've also got the terrorizing from this region. Normally in the gimmicks, there is always some explanation. You know, Mega Evolution, it was essentially like the meteor that broke everything and shot those shards everywhere. Dynamaxing, it was like power spot energy was there. I don't know if they ever gave an explanation for Z moves, but there was no transformation on those. So, but this is a big whole mystery swirl of something. Maybe it is going back to the past and the future, because this game does lean heavily on past and future. Even if we don't do that, it's, you know, Korodon and Miraidon, both like past and future legendaries. So there is that. So we're going to go ahead and go back down to the city, and we're going to kind of go to the right side of the map now. And you can kind of see there's this little dirt trail, another one of these Pokemon centers, and then there's these two towers right next to each other. So I'm wondering if some of this stuff is version exclusive, like maybe this tower's in Scarlet and this one's in Violet, and they've just got them merged. Could be a thing. Farther down, we see this like little, I wonder if this is going to be some kind of like marsh type thing. Maybe not, because it's not like really swampy-ish, but it's something kind of note. Maybe get some water Pokemon there. I don't know if you'll be able to actually do anything there. One thing that is interesting is down here, there's just a random Pokemon Center that I've noticed. I assume it's because it's the only one that has a beach area that you can actually get to. So I don't know how much of this ocean you're actually able to go to. I assume, if we zoom out here, that this edge is the actual edge of the world. Probably not even that. But it also could be that it's this little like flowy field here. is actually going to be the edge of the like little map area. Similar to like Ultra Sun and Moon, you couldn't surf between the islands. I mean, I guess you could with the like Manton surfing, but it doesn't let you actually fully go there and explore. So it could be that this is just a regional section. I'm more thinking that these are just kind of decorations though, and once you get to this, you can go anywhere around in the ocean. But it is something to note. Scrolling up here, we have what I'm almost 100% sure is the grass gym. You can see here's the gym building. Again, 2 Pokemon centers on this side. And you've got this maze. And this looks like, if we zoom in. Yeah, I was about to say, this looks like the grass gym stadium where you're catching the Sunflora. So I'm almost 100% sure that that's this little thing.
You actually move that gym symbol as well.
Oh, I can do that.
Okay, it's not there. I was actually reading up on Brassius. He's the grass gym leader. You mentioned something. They mentioned something about him making a giant Sunflora statue. I was wondering if actually in the town or not.
And it could be, and it could just be not showing anywhere. There's
they have
also
all things to show. I don't know why they wouldn't show that.
Maybe to keep it hidden. Who knows? But there's also this symbol, and
the headpiece.
Yeah, but it's also looking like a symbol. I'm just saying, this is gonna be something. It's gonna be like the G-Max like toxicity phenomenon type thing or something, where it was like hidden in like the wall of Stow-on-Side or wherever it was. Anyways, that's that. Continuing on, we've got another Pokemon Center and another one of these towers here. And our first like actual island, although none of the islands really have any kind of cool importance that I've been able to see. So they're literally just there. But we do have what is the fire type racing area. Now, one thing that was shown in the trailer is it looked like it was kind of like an alleyway.
And race. I don't even think about them actually just trying to race you.
Yeah, and
Starfall Street is what the name of the storyline is called.
Yep, but there's not an alleyway here that I can see. It could be that they're just not showing it, and this is just representing like maybe their territory type thing. I'm not 100% sure, but you can see here the flags are red, and we see her using fire type. She used a Torkoal. I think actually Torkoal.
If you look at some screenshots, actually, I guess I could just send you this one. It takes place. The battle against, I forgot what her name was. The fire leader is in like a grassy canyon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be like more over here. Like maybe you go this way and then kind of go over here for it. I don't know. Because there's not really a grassy canyon. But these are clearly like red flags. And it's the only set of flags that are even resembling red. And that was their whole logo, is like you saw the flags in the trailer. So I'm not 100% sure if this just marks territory or if it's, again, like once you go here, maybe there's like another. Well, I guess this is kind of a grassy canyon. Now that I'm looking at it, there's 2 hills. So maybe that is the case. And you do see a road up here. So maybe that is the case. Moving onwards to the right, you see this gym area. Well, you see this massive city, which also looks, to me, this area just looks really, really cool. Most of these cities look really cool. And another very hard gym to see is right here. I assume this is going to be a water one, if only because of the giant water battle arena. Could be something else. Maybe this one's the flying one for all I know, because maybe you're just flying. I don't know. I just assume it's water because it's in the water. One other thing, we've got this massive building right here. And
by the league headquarters.
Probably.
Or the Pokemon League.
Could be. I'm not really 100% sure what this is. It could be that. It could be something like maybe a Silphco type thing. Don't know, because we haven't seen a Silphco type building, I feel like, in a very long time. That actually had some kind of like significance. I guess the closest thing would be like the Aether Foundation, but they're in like a completely different, area. Although I guess there was like the Lighthouse and like Chairman's Rose's Pokemon League as well, or wherever it was. But yeah, I assume this is gonna be a water one. I don't know if you have any guesses, Def. I just assume it is because of it being a ginormous water thing, a water field.
You scroll up.
I can. We have just some houses and another Pokemon Center.
Okay. I was wondering if the battlefield was up there or something.
No, I think this is the actual battlefield, honestly. But it's really hard to tell. It is really hard to tell. And you get another one of these lighthouses, like I said, cardinal directions for it. We do get this, like, tanned, not really deserty area, but more like hard rock, if I'd have to take a guess. And we have another one of these little bitty pillars. And we have what I assume is going to be... I honestly don't know what this little town is. There's not a whole lot. Maybe it's something with fossils, possibly. So maybe we get into some new fossils. It reminds me of the houses that are in Sinnoh, where you go to the Pokemon Square and kind of walk in that. And you get the amulet coin there. I can't remember what the name of the actual place is.
Square.
Is it actual Amity Square?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. But it kind of reminds me of that. There is a battle arena here, but that's really all you see. But if you scroll up, let me remove this. You see some more flags, and these ones are more closely resembled to the ghost topping color than anything, from what I can tell. So I assume this is going to be a ghost top, and if what is, I believe, the case, this entire area is going to be their territory. So I think that's where that's going to be. Or maybe this city is their territory.
I went backwards.
Yeah, I was going to say, it could be really either way on this one. This one is a little more clear to find, unlike the fire one, just because it looks like there is clearly a blockade of mountains going through here. Onwards to the right, we still have this, and there is one other building that we didn't talk about. So earlier I brought up that there's this cave entrance here, and it comes from here. This building exists, and I don't know what this is. Maybe this is nothing. Maybe this is the Pokemon League. The only thing is...
League.
Huh?
So that definitely looks like the League. I did read something. This one's from Cerebi this time. It mentioned Victory Road and gyms, but that's basically all it said.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting, if you're on the Pokemon website and you go look at the... I can't remember her name, but it's like the Pokemon champion. She said in the description, it says that she's one of the champions, specifically. So I am wondering if there's multiple champion buildings here in this game.
They're one of the Pokemon League. It operates Paldea's Pokemon gyms among the region's champions. She reigns supreme as most skilled trainer of all.
So, I don't know. Maybe there's multiple champions. Who knows? Who knows? But that is a possibility, and that would be explaining why you see some of these buildings like this. Like, maybe there's a champ.
The building is shaped like the symbol on her hand. Which I guess I'll take a picture of.
Interesting. Maybe this is the league headquarters, or at least her league headquarters. So I just wanted to touch up on that because that is where that is.
You can see it.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. Huh, interesting. We'll have to put that in there. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. Going back on this side of the map, now that we're on the left side again, we've already went over this little island. We run into what is the lake in this game. This is really like the biggest water source that I've seen. Nothing's really fancy here other than it being an ocean. They don't have any landmarks. We also have what is like it reminds me of like a mesa biome in Minecraft. Honestly, some more dirt, rocks, nothing really fancy. You can see you've got 2 paths. Nothing really comes up to it. Here, what?
3 stones in a formation off to the left.
Oh, this? Oh, good call. I didn't actually notice that. They are very specifically, and there is an island in the middle. So I'm wondering if these are maybe events that you can do, or maybe this is another one of these, like, go here at like 4 a.m. and evolve a Pokemon type thing. Could be. Other than that, we can kind of go across here, and we've got a little tower, nothing super fancy. And this is one where the path branches up here, and we'll get to the psychic logo up here in just a minute. But these don't go really anywhere, so I assume that there is an actual path there. It's just not really laid out on the map. So going back over to the right, because we have a lot still on this side before we cover this top area, which is like one of the biggest mysteries.
I suppose they call the however the process of becoming champion is called champion assessment.
Yep, which is something completely new. You can see this giant river comes up here. Maybe you can get into the mountain from here, and the way you get up there, I'm not 100% sure. But you do have another Pokemon Center in this little valley There doesn't seem to be actually anything other than this tower up here, though. So I don't really know why you would go to this Pokemon Center. There isn't a town, and it doesn't look like it's got a whole lot. But who knows? Maybe there's something unique there. There is also behind here islands. So it would not surprise me if there's actually something behind this map that you could get to. It's just something to kind of keep in mind that there is an island back there. Over to the right, you get this foresty area, and I believe this is the second to last, or maybe this is the last one of the Team Star logos. And you can see that this one is a yellow one. I'm assuming this is electric.
Could be bug. It could also be because it could be the lighting.
Could be. I still, like, when I was taking the picker tool to look, it pulled pretty close to the actual electric topping logo. But who knows? Like I said, this is just kind of speculation on this part for these, but would not surprise me if this is electric. The interesting thing here that it kind of brings it to where maybe it is bug is these trees look like kind of like a bamboo forest area. So who knows? Now here comes another interesting thing, and there's two towers right next to each other on this side of the map. We see this again, so maybe these are another version exclusive towers. The other thing that I don't think I've pointed out until now, you'll see that this tower is only 1 tower high, while this one's 2 tower high. I don't know what significance that plays to anything, but I do think it is going to matter on something. Maybe it's the level of the totem Pokemon. The higher the tower, the more dangerous it is. I'm not entirely sure. So that does make me have some questions. Again, there is another cave up here. Looks like it seemingly goes nowhere from what I can tell, but there is clearly able to be explored. Because I don't know how you would even get over here if you couldn't go through this way. So maybe in this fog, there's an actual cave, and this is where it lands up, and then you can go over to the left here. Moving onwards, we have what is probably Definite's most, well, maybe not most, but we've got like a big question, which is there's 2 gyms right next to each other from what it seems like. You can't really tell the Pokeball color. It looks like just a red one, and this arena. I assume this is the ice one because we do see the ice gym battle with the gym leader, and it looks like they're over a cliff, which kind of lines up with this little gym area.
Pokeball itself on the building isn't what changes color. It's the battlefield itself. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Which this one looks like a lot bluish, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could just be fitting the town.
Could be.
Now that I think about it.
But I think this is going to be a nice one. Now, this one, we kind of run into what else would be in an actual area, in an ice area, and there's a few things that come to mind. Steel. I feel like you see steel things in ice areas at times.
I know that the rock gym was in the ice area in Gen 8.
Yep. And there is also fighting. Fighting tends to be up in ice areas. Training in the cold. There is an archway here, a Pokemon Center, and just some buildings, and there is another archway right here. And then there's this gym. I could not find the arena, though, at all. I assume it's either behind this little area, or maybe that they use the same arena as the ice one, for all I know. I don't know. These ones are very odd. The other thing that comes to my mind with these two being very close is there is another one of these buildings somewhere that I have missed. And those buildings are actually version exclusive gyms, which have happened before. We saw them in Sword and Shield. As a matter of fact, there was 2 of them, or 2 sets. So Ice and Fighting, and Ghost and something. I can't remember.
Ghost and Fighting, Ice and Rock.
There you go. That's it. Even though we just talked about it. So I don't know. Maybe that's the case there, and I missed one somewhere, somehow. But it's something to kind of keep in mind. And we've got another cardinal direction here. And we have the... What?
It said Hill up flags.
Yeah. The last bit of flags. And these ones, I assume they're psychic. I guess could also be fairy. But to me, this is too dark to be a fairy color. Fairy is more of a lighter pink in the color spectrum.
Seems the fact that all these Team Star areas are supposed to be raceways, I suppose this one is supposed to be a water race.
Possibly.
There's no else race except for that.
Either that or maybe you go on shore and race. Like I said, you can clearly see a shore behind it. And maybe you just don't race at all. I mean, it'd be weird. But they haven't actually shown any type of racing.
Well, they have giant cars. You can drive, technically. I say quote-unquote drive.
Yeah. So just to kind of overview here, there's like I said, some more tunnels. This one might be shading that I noticed. I'm assuming it is, but there's a lot of tunnels that just kind of lead nowhere in this. Now, if we zoom all the way out here, just to show how big this map actually is, you'll notice that I've got the Kalos end map right up here. This doesn't 100% line up, but it is also possible that this area right here isn't right here, and it could be further up to match. I just got it there to kind of show that it exists. And you can see it's got like a huge mountain range, so it could be something more like this for all we know. But there is one interesting thing, which is both of these areas have clouds swarming a water area. Same thing for here. So
I assume they did just to fill out the water area.
Maybe, or maybe, Def, we're going to Kalos. Full copium. So if we go all the way over here, I have not really a legend, but yeah, there's 15 towers. I don't know what that does just there. That's weird. 8 gems I found, 4 cardinal direction for the north-south or the towers, and 5 team star boss locations. If we go zoom in, I've also found the types used. We've got a bug. Oops. Dark was not used, dragon, electric, fairy was not used, fighting, fire, flying, ghost. I think ghost was used and I didn't check it.
It was.
Yep. Grass, ground, ice, psychic, rock, steel, and water. If we take the remaining types, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, we have our 4 elite 4 types as well. Because normally gems, I don't think there has ever been a case where a gem has overlapped with an elite 4 top, except for maybe in Gen 1.
Gen 8, where you fought the gym leaders again.
Oh, well, I guess that's fair. If there is an elite 4, but I do speculate dark, fairy, normal, and poison going to be a elite 4 again. Which makes me wonder what the champion's going to use. Maybe we'll see a mixed team, like what we have with Cynthia, or maybe it will be just a unified team, and who knows, really. So, but yeah, let us, that's going to be kind of the map breakdown. Let us know if there's anything here that you guys have seen that maybe Def and I had missed. I worked on this for like 8 hours trying to like map it out and look through all the things. It's very possible I did miss something though. And any other things you noticed, Def, before we wrap up?
I suppose that from really far away, the water, quote-unquote, gym is just blue.
Yeah. So, maybe, who knows?
Also, yeah, I noticed it was a Pokeball from far away. That's really what I meant.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is a Pokeball, for sure, on that one, so. But yeah, I think this region is going to be very, very big. I'm really excited for Scarlet and Violet. I think that there's going to be some very interesting things here. We'll have to just wait and see for it to come out. I would love to go back to Kalos, but do not get your hopes up. That is my statement on that one. Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, make sure you guys leave a like. Both mine and Def's channels will be in the description as always. And again, let us know if there's anything that we might have missed or anything that you guys have seen. I'll also link this link to the map in the description in case anyone else wants to do this. I had a hard time originally finding it, so I want to try to help and spread that out. But until then, we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Later.